Welcome back to Super Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars. I am your host, Mr. Ben. When we last left off, we managed to defeat the third final form of Jinx, as well as taking out the optional boss of Kulex, also known in the Japanese version as Crystaller. Or is that pronounced Crystal? I never really understood if that was pronounced with a long A or a short A sound. Anyway, let's go ahead and keep getting on started, and move on toward our next objective, which is the Barrel Volcano. I want to apologize in the sense that this is probably going to end up being a bit of a longer than usual episode here, and I would have gotten this out a little earlier, except that we had a little bit of a situation with the recording. For whatever reason, the original recording kind of got botched, and I had to re-record my commentary completely off camera here, as opposed to doing this alongside my usual gameplay. So anyway, we're going to be heading off towards our Barrel Volcano through the hot springs on here. And they recognize Mallow as being the true prince, and he's all no big deal about it. And he just asks them to let them through, which they do. They stand aside. So this here's the hot spring area. It's not really all that big or that much to look at, and there's a warning saying that beyond the cliffs is the volcano. Now, the hot springs here actually act as a sort of a bed, or a sort of an inn here. If you jump in the water, you'll regain all of your flower points and HP automatically. You can't really stay in the water for that long, but you'll notice we've already healed up to full. So this is a good optional area to come back to in case you want to heal up without having to go all the way back to Mario's pad or anything. Anyway, let's keep on going. So this is the next area. This is the Barrel Volcano. One thing I do want to make a note here is that with very few exceptions, all of the enemies that we're going to encounter here have a weakness to ice. If we have any ice bombs left over from Seaside Town, or if we manage to stock up on them via Mobile, now's a great time to use them, because we're going to be encountering a lot of fights here, starting with the first two new enemies here. Magmus is the stronger relative of the Magmites we saw in Mobile. They're also technically a defensive counterpart to the Armored Ants here, and the two of them typically fight alongside each other. Magmus has 50 HP, 110 attack, 140 defense, a magic defense of 25, and a flimsy magic attack score of 3. Magmuses are generally almost pure defense, capable of utilizing Valor to bolster their already incredible defensive scores, as well as giving us a 5% chance of dropping a Bracer. Armored Ants have 230 HP, 130 attack, 24 magic attack, 120 defense, and magic defense stat of 80. Armored Ants are capable of utilizing Vigor Up, which increases their attack power, but only if they're the sole remaining enemy on the field. They do also have the capability of casting Fear Status via Endo Bubble, and they also have a 5% chance of dropping a Power Blast item. I'm also probably going to be making a few mistakes here in this particular episode. I'm going to try to cut out as much of this as possible. I kind of find it interesting that the enemy that normally is capable of being the offensive one actually gives out a defense uplift flower instead. But be that as it may, whatever. And double your experience points, find Yoshi and win. Where's Yoshi? Well, he's right here. This is the first time I've ever actually gotten double experience through finding Yoshi, which is about freaking time. Anyway, these are the another enemy here. We have two other enemies here. We have the Vomer. Vomers are a more powerful variety of dry bones that we saw back in the sunken ship. And in fact, the Japanese version are called a Karanzeto, which translates to Dry Bone Z. Vomers have an attack score of 110 attack, and much like their dry bone counterparts, they have no defense or magic defense scores whatsoever, but can only be killed by magic attacks or a pure water item, since they're classified as undead. Foamers have a 25% chance of dropping those, and they are the only regular enemy found in the Barrel Volcano that is not weak to ice. Chained Kongs have 355 HP, 150 attack, 22 magic attack, 80 defense, and a magic defense stat of 50. They resist fire and also have a 25% chance of dropping a max mushroom. Also, much like the dried bones in the sunken ship, Foamers defeated will remain on the field and they will not be removed, much like any other enemy that you would otherwise defeat. There is a Starman in this particular chest here. And go ahead and we level up a couple times here. Mario reaches level 20. With this, we are 2/3 of the way to the max level of 30. Mallow reaches level 20 as well. I think we'll go for health. Don't know what I was doing here. So when we continue going on here, you'll notice we'll see frog coins hovering over in certain areas. We can go ahead and collect those. We're at 73 right now. But we have yet another enemy on the field here. Pyro Spears are the strongest fireball enemies we have seen to date, with an odd HP total of 167. They have 105 attack scores, 100 magic attack, 66 defense, and 48 magic defense, and capable of utilizing Drain and Firestone. Now, a little bit of a fun fact I never pointed out, but the fireball enemies we've seen in the underground pipe portion leading to Yoshi's Isle, named Sparkies, those are simply known as Bubble in the Japanese version. Toadstool reached level 20, by the way. Anyway, as I was saying, the Sparkies and the... Oh, well, Bowser reached level 22 as well. Well, 20 as well, not level 22, that's a little later. Anyhow... Getting back on track here, as I was trying to say, the fireball enemies that we saw in the Yoshi's Isle pipeline is known simply in the Japanese version as Bubble, which is a reference to Lava Bubble. The Pyro Spears here, however, in the Japanese version are known as Bobbles, which might be a reference to the Bubble Bobble series of games. Not really that important, but just something interesting I thought I'd go ahead and point out. Gina reaches level 20 as well. And we increase his special. After that last fight, I've decided to go ahead and clear out all the enemies here. That way we get that frog coin pretty easily. And we're moving on. We're now almost to the max of 600 or 999 coins. We're just 30 coins away from max. We have a very interesting enemy here. This is the Corkbadite. That's on the left. Corkbadites are unusual enemies. They're immensely powerful with great physical attacks and defense. They're also actually two separate enemies into one, with each having separate HP totals. The head of the Corkvidite has 200 HP with 130 attack, 110 defense, a magic attack of 80, and a magic defense of 20. It resists fire, fear, poison, sleep, and silence, and has the ability of casting fear status via Sandstorm. The body has 300 HP, an attack score of 100, 99 defense, and a Peaslee 6 magic Peaslee at 6 in magic attack. As well as an absolutely puny score of 1 in magic defense. It shares the same weaknesses and resistances as its head, but honestly, with Corkvidite, you want to focus on taking out its body as quickly as possible, because by defeating the head first, as you've seen, the remaining body will actually utilize Migraine to instantaneously kill one of your party members. However, if you kill the body first, the head of the Corkvidite will destroy itself on its very next turn. It's a bit of a long-winded explanation there, I do apologize on that. But we want to get that frog coin up there, and by doing that you want to actually just get onto the top there. By doing so, you actually have to jump in the lava from the opposite side to get that frog coin. This is going to be a bit of a interesting thing here, because I kind of have to go a little bit with trying to get those frog coins there. By that I mean it's going to take me a couple of attempts. This isometric view really doesn't help matters a whole lot. Honestly, it would have been better if I had just gone from the other side, but I got that particular coin there anyway. That's on my 4th attempt there. Got ourselves another flower there, and yet another frog coin. We're gonna go ahead and we'll save the game here. And this is a very interesting enemy. This is the Stumper, or Stumpet. Stumpets here are exceptionally rare and powerful enemies with a grand total of 500 HP, 200 attack, 120 defense, 60 magic defense, but an absolutely pathetic score of magic attack of 6. Despite this, they are still capable of utilizing special attacks called Backfire and Ba Ba Boom, both of which require them to be charged for a turn, denoted by the phrase that you saw there about them getting furious. Backfire and Ba Ba Boom both deal physical damage and quite a bit of it as well, so you want to take these guys out as quickly as possible. And finally, I'm not entirely certain how to pronounce this, but Orlikon? I don't know how to do that. Anyway, they're the strongest spiny variant out there, and they are likely named for the 20mm anti-aircraft gun, which, likewise, I have no idea how to pronounce. These guys have 85 HP, 120 attack, 17 magic attack, 125 defense, and 50 magic defense, and like all spiny variants, they are immune to jump attacks unless you're wearing jump shoes. These guys have a 25% chance of dropping an Energizer. There's pretty much all the regular enemies we're going to find here in the Barrel Volcano. Got ourselves another corkbite up here. Like I said, you want to take care of the body first. Experiencing a little bit of a slowdown there. And as you see, it automatically blows up after the body's destroyed, so you don't have to worry about taking the rest of it out. Here we are. This, as we were looking for, is the guy that were told about by the Queen Nimbus. This is Hinopio. Hey there. Phew, I thought I heard footsteps. For a minute, I thought I was going nuts. I'm Hinopio. This place is a regular inferno. Come on, step inside. This is the Hinomart. He actually runs 3 businesses in one. We have the item store, the inn, and the weapon shop. By speaking to the inn, he actually gives us 30 coins for a room. Bit of a steep expensive, but I just want to show this off. By staying at the inn, we wind up face down on a barrel of crates, or a bunch of crates I should say. Not exactly the most comfortable thing in the world, but over here we have a bit of a cameo. We have the R-Wing from Star Fox. We have the Blue Falcon from F-Zero, and Samus's gunship from the Metroid series. Go ahead and buy some armor here. Go ahead and buy, I think, let's get the fire shirt, the fire pants, fire cape, and I think we'll hold off on everything else here. We don't need anything. Well, I might as well go ahead and get the fire shell too. Go ahead and equip everyone up. Yeah, let's go ahead and hold off. Let's go ahead and finally get rid of the work pants for Bowser. We could probably go ahead and keep it on him. And we'll just go ahead and we'll stop in at the regular item stop to pick up a few minor things. Unload some of our other stuff that we don't need. We'll go ahead and we'll hold on to everything else here, I think. Especially since the bracers only sell for 1. But we will take a couple of maple syrups. You never know when you need to recover some flower points. We'll go ahead, we'll save the game again. Same slot. And we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna swap out a couple of party members here, specifically Mallow for Gino. Or Gino for Mallow, I should say. And we have the return of isometric jumping. Honestly, this particular part's gonna be a bit painful in regards to the isometric jumping. So, don't you worry about that. I'm gonna go ahead and make sure we get that, pretty well taken care of. So, I think I'll see you on the flip side when we get done with this battle. And finally, with the magic of video editing, we've made it to the other side. Wound up taking so many attempts that we wound up getting rid of the rest of the Pyro Spears after about 11 failed attempts of coming across. Anyway, we want to make sure we have Mallow in our party, and we're going to go ahead and give him, I think we'll give him the rare scarf, because he's probably going to need it. But anyway, the main reason we want to go ahead and have him in the party is because we now have our first boss battle. This is the Tsar Dragon. The Tsar Dragon is quite tough. It has 1400 HP, 160 attack points, 120 magic attack, 100 defense, and 70 magic defense. Despite being a fire creature, its only actual fire-based spell is Flame Wall. It knows the non-elemental Water Blast as well as an attack called Iron Maiden, which inflicts fear status upon your party members. The Tsar Dragon also has the capability of summoning small fiery orbs called Helios, which will kamikaze into your party members. They can be defeated in one fell swoop with Mallow's Snowy, but they only resist fire, and their defenses are, well, they're completely non-existent. So taking care of them isn't really a problem at all. We're going to go ahead, we're going to use our Power Blast item here to give our attack power, or our party members an attack power here. We're also going to go ahead and throw up our bracers here, mainly because we don't have Gino in the party at this point, so utilizing our items for this particular battle probably isn't a bad idea. Although, in all honesty, probably keeping them for the next battle might have been a better idea. You'll see what I mean. As with pretty much everything else, the Tsar Dragon is indeed weak to ice, as its little Helios counterparts. So utilizing ice bombs or the snowy power from Mallow is a really good idea for this fight. As per usual, you should keep Toadstool on healing, and if she's not healing, she should probably be utilizing the Star Egg, especially if she has a power-up user. Of course, I say use the Star Egg, and then I go and I accidentally slap him around with the War Fan. I'm just so used to attacking enemies physically that even when I have the option to attack them magically, I generally don't do that, like, most of the time. I'm really bad about that for some reason. Anyway, that takes care of the Tsar Dragon. But we're not done! Once we take it out, you might think the battle is over, but we're only at the halfway point. Defeating the Tsar Dragon only gives rise to its second and more powerful form, Zombone. Zombone has 1800 HP, 190 attack, 80 magic attack, 60 defense, and 100 magic defense. It can inflict fear status through Scream, and utilizes the magic moves Blast, Storm, and Boulder. Now, while its attacks are more powerful, it's actually a bit of a trade-off because it has less defensive power and trades its original weakness to ice for a double weakness to jump and electric. Since Zombone is also an undead enemy, Pure Waters are a great item to utilize. Just keep in mind, however, that unlike most undead enemies, Pure Waters will not instantaneously defeat him. They will, however, deal a set 200 damage, much like his rocket enemies. Which is still nice because 6 Pure Waters means you can instantly defeat Zombone in simply just 2 rounds of combat. Unfortunately, we don't have 6 Pure Waters, so we're going to have to take him out the hard way. By slapping around with a war fan. Among other methods. And there goes the Tsar Dragon. Get 50 experience points. Mallow reaches level 21. I'm gonna go ahead and increase his physical power. We are fully healed up after the battle, so we don't have to worry about utilizing items or any magic points to heal ourselves. And by that, we get the red star, which is the 6th star out of 7. That was simple enough. And what the? Where'd it go? Gasp! We got the star! We're amazing! We're unbeatable! We're gorgeous! You better leave now, chumps! You know what, I never mentioned this before, and I've wanted to point this out, but for some reason this particular music you're playing now kind of reminds me of the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, Dr. Robotnik theme, of all things. Not entirely certain why. Anyhow, that's not really important. Let's keep going forward. Hey, Red, look down there. That's gotta be the ugliest mustache I've ever seen. Ew, gross. That guy's worse looking than that Claude Mario. That is Mario, you idiot. Listen, everyone, we've got to get this star to the blade immediately. We'll deal with Mario later. Oh, I love this music. Oh, this is some of the best music in the game. Hey, Red, careful with this. You're all thumbs. We gotta chase down these guys here. It's too bad you only hear this music in this particular area here. It's so good, but it's such a short particular instance. And we're just gonna go ahead and jump up after them. Where's the blade? He'll be here. Are you sure? Relax, people. Mario's here. He's too late. Where's the blade? Shut up already. Finally! This is my favorite boss battle in the whole game. We fight for evil. We live for disorder. We like what we do. We struggle for chaos. We are The Aksum Rangers. The star piece gives people hope. It needs to be destroyed. The Aksum Rangers, or Onoranges in the Japanese version, are honestly my favorite boss in the whole game. Though that's mainly due to the fact I've always been kind of into Super Sentai Power Rangers. The one thing about this fight I've always really hated was the fact that you're forced to utilizing only 3 characters, as opposed to these motherfuckers coming at you with its full force of 5. Anyway, each of the Aksums can be seen as a dark counterpart to Mario and his gang. To start off, you want to focus all of your attacks on either Aksum Pink or Aksum Green. Aksum Pink, the only female of the group, is the party's healer and status debuff user for the Aksums. She's got 400 HP, 120 attack, 80 magic attack, and 100 magic defense. She's capable of casting the mushroom status on your party, but she has a weakness to fire. Aksum Pink's role opposes Peach in Mario's group. Aksum Green, on the other hand, is the team's primary magic user with 450 HP, 110 attack, 90 magic attack, 100 magic defense, and has the capability of casting Meteor Blast, Solidify, and Static Heat. He has a weakness to ice. Him being the primary magic user for the Aksum Rangers is the party's counterpart to Mallow. I should also mention that Aksum Pink, I forgot to mention, has the capability of casting Sleep on your party if you're not careful. Don't know why I went for the Psych Bomb there. It's just a waste of magic. I also probably should have put Geno back in the party mainly for the ability to increase the status of my characters. The increased offense and defense would have been better, especially with the Star Egg. But you know, as I always mention in some of my post notes here, 2020 is a bit of hindsight there. We at least have the ability to use our bracers, even though we have to utilize them one at a time. Going back into the further members here, Aksum Yellow is the slow but powerful physical fighter of the Rangers. He's the second toughest of all of them with 600 HP, a massive 170 attack, 130 defense, 60 in magic defense, but an absolutely pitiful 6 magic attack. His only weakness is to Mario's jump attacks, which makes sense considering that Yellow is Bowser's counterpart. Aside from his powerful body slam attack, Yellow can cause poison status by utilizing toxic bubbles in battle. Aksum Black is Geno's counterpart. He's fast and strong, but he has physically poor defenses. Aksum Black has 550 HP, 140 attack, 4 in magic attack, 120 in defense, and 40 in magic defense. He's weak to electricity, but just because his defensive powers are poor does not mean that he's not a threat. Aksum Black has the capability of moving several times per turn, and he often attacks twice, or sometimes even occasionally thrice in a row, often utilizing bombs. Finally, Aksum Red is the group's leader, with overall balanced stats. He has 800 HP, 150 attack power, 24 magic attack, 100 defense, and 80 magic defense. Red has the ability to cast Vigor Up to bolster his already formidable power, and he also has a weakness to ice. If he's defeated before the other 4, he actually exclaims that, "Oh, my head is spinning." Red obviously is Mario's counterpart. And there we go with the Vigor Up. Once you've taken out both Aksum Green and Aksum Pink, Aksum Black's the next target to obviously target. Finally, with Red and Yellow, you want to go ahead and take out the physically toughest member. Although you might be better off taking out Red because he does have a slightly better attack, I guess. And by slightly better attack, I mean like he has the ability to cast Vigor up. Anyway, either way, it doesn't matter. This is a 3-on-2 fight now. Make sure your party member's always healed up. You're gonna need to want to keep your health up as much as you can. Obviously, if you have items, restorative items, whether it be mushrooms or not, don't be afraid to utilize them. And finally, it's just the red guy. 3-on-1 is really just not a fair fight, no matter what odds. Here we go. Enough! Now I'm angry. Time to finish this. Formation, ho! Here we go! Oh, and now the real fight has begun. Even though we have already beaten the 5 Rangers, this is the second half of the battle. Technically the second form, much like the Tsar Dragon did. We are now fighting the actual blade itself. This thing has a weapon called the Breaker Beam, and it hurts. It deals quite a bit of damage. You want to focus on keeping your party as healthy as possible at this point. And just hammer this thing as much as you have ability to. Because Breaker Beam, this is the second major boss that after Yerdovich, a lot of players may find themselves walled by. Especially if you've taken out all 5 of them, you might just have a bit of a problem with the Breaker Beam on this, because it just deals that much damage. But anyway, just keep on hammering away at this guy, and eventually you're going to be able to batter down their defenses. This isn't possible! We are invincible! Can this be happening to the Aksum Rangers? Uah! And we get only 17 experience points for that whole thing. Well, anyway, we reached level 21 out of that for Princess Toadstool. Let's go ahead and give her a little bit of physical power. And with that, the blade is destroyed, the Aksum Rangers are down, and several members of the Smithy Gang are down and out for the count. We have now once again recovered the 6th star piece. And that does it for this episode. 6 star pieces have finally been collected. Where could that last star piece be? Well, we're going to find that out on the next episode, because next time when we pick up on Super Mario RPG Legend of the 7 Stars, we make our way towards our last and final area. But where could that possibly be? Well, you're just going to have to tune in to find out. Until then, I will see you next time. Later, everyone.